I'm Liz Schrum for the Wisconsin Technology Council, here with WisBusiness.com, the show. Just ahead, Tom Still talks about strides made by women entrepreneurs and investors. And Gretchen Jameson, Senior Vice President of Strategy and University Affairs for Concordia University, talks about focusing on entrepreneurism on campus and the importance of PR and brand development within startup companies. And now, here's this week's Tech Metrics. These snapshots of key indicators in the Wisconsin economy were developed by the Wisconsin Technology Council for its policy reports. And now, here's Tom Still with his Inside Wisconsin commentary.
For years, the intertwined worlds of startups, angel, and venture capital were dominated by the most alpha of alpha males. That is steadily changing in ways that are contributing to entrepreneurism and small business growth at a time when the economy needs more of both. In 2004, according to the Center for Venture Research at the University of New Hampshire, only 3.2% of all angel-backed companies were led by women. By 2013, that figure was 20.2%. There was a corresponding rise in the number of women who are angel investors, from 5% in 2004 to more than 19% in 2013. There were fewer than 20,000 women angel investors a decade ago. There were about 58,000 nationally a year ago. In Wisconsin, the number of women investors is also on the rise. So what's that mean to the economy? The 2014 State of Women-Owned Business Report estimated there are 9.1 million women-owned enterprises in the United States, collectively employing nearly 7.9 million workers and generating more than 1.4 trillion in revenues. Not only is the number of women-led businesses on the rise, but those businesses are growing faster than the U.S. average. The State of Women-Owned Business Report pegged that growth rate at 1.5 times the national average between 1997 and 2014. One organization known for helping women-led startups find money and mentors is Springboard Enterprises, which was started by South Milwaukee native and USA Network founder Kay Koplovitz. Since its founding in 2000, 600 women-led companies have participated in Springboard's accelerator programs. Those companies have raised nearly $7 billion, created tens of thousands of jobs, and generated billions of dollars in annual revenues. More than 80% of Springboard companies are still in business as independent or merged entities, including 11 initial public offerings. Wisconsin-based Cielo exemplifies that high-growth trend. It is a talent acquisition and management company with clients in about 60 countries. In the Inc. 5000 Growth Index a year ago, Cielo was ranked 902nd among all U.S. companies and 9th in Wisconsin. Cielo was formed by a merger of Pinstripe, founded by Sue Marks of Wisconsin, and Oker House. Marks spoke recently at the Wisconsin Early Stage Symposium. Progress for women at the young company level is slowly filtering up into larger publicly held firms, although some say not fast enough. With more women running young companies, however, Wisconsin is building a bench of talented female executives as well as a cadre of women investors to match.
Recently, at the Wisconsin Early Stage Symposium, we caught up with Gretchen Jameson, Senior Vice President of Strategy and University Affairs for Concordia University. Thanks for joining us, Gretchen.
My pleasure.
Why is Concordia University focusing on entrepreneurism on campus and more broadly across Wisconsin?
Concordia University is focused on entrepreneurship as part of its DNA. It goes back into the history of our institution. There are a lot of universities that are focused on entrepreneurial degrees and programs in today's university environment. We at Concordia understand that a focus on an entrepreneurship mindset has to be more than an intellectual pursuit. It needs to be deeply embedded in the development of each student. We understand entrepreneurship to include self-efficacy, creativity, innovation, leadership skills. These are the skills that will set an individual apart as they serve in their community, whether they're starting up a new enterprise or serving in an innovative way within an established company. So at Concordia, we embrace this as we prepare student leaders to go out and serve in our Wisconsin communities and make a real impact as we move communities forward.
You served on a panel at the Wisconsin Early Stage Symposium. What advice did you offer to the audience?
So getting started is one of the most difficult things you can do. A 2015 April article in Entrepreneurship magazine cited that there are on average 476,000 startups per month in this country. So if you want to get started, the first thing, the most important thing you need to know is what your brand plan really is. What do you stand for? What unique solution do you offer? And how are you going to make that great match between your brand promise and your target audience, who you really want to serve? You've got to be really clear about what's driving your brand and what you stand for if you want to be noticed in this fast-paced environment.
Your background is largely in public relations and brand development. What do startups need to know about PR and branding if they have yet to produce a product?
Startups today really need to understand the central place that PR and branding play in their efforts, and that's distinctive from marketing in a couple of key ways. We hear a lot today about content marketing. I prefer to think of it as storytelling, and the focus needs not so much to be on what you want to talk about as what your target needs to hear. And when you change that focus, you become much more relevant to your specific target, and you actually meet needs and stand out with your product even before you've created that product with your brand promise.
Thanks, Gretchen, and thank you for watching this edition of WisBusiness.com, the show. The show is produced by the Wisconsin Technology Council and WisBusiness.com, and sponsored by UW-Milwaukee and Exact Sciences. Visit our websites to read and learn more. I'm Liz Schrum of Talent But Executive Search. See you next time.